So how you doing? Hey, the tractor and I have been busy. We've been doing a lot of work, and I'm going to bring you along, kind of show you some of the stuff, and I'm going to kind of show you some stuff that we got going on for the event as well. We got an event coming up at the end of July, and I'm going to kind of show you some of the stuff I've been working on. Alrighty, so here, let me show you this one first. So there's the old tractor. Now, I didn't have a good parking spot for it, so I made myself one, you know? This area was full of junk. I bet you it took me an hour of hauling the junk out to get it all out of here. But now we got ourselves a nice parking spot for the tractor, you know? One of these days, I think I'll put a little roof over it and get her set up, you know? But I think that will work out just fine for the old girl. Well, let me show you around. We've been doing some stuff. Now, some of you might remember up here, we took a tree down last year. She was leaning at like a 45-degree angle. We got her down. So I just finished cleaning up all the brush, you know, all that stuff. And yeah, it's good to go now. Got part of my yard back. Also did that a while ago. Put that little shed up there. That's kind of like our dog box. You know, my wife likes dogs. So we got them set up with a nice little area, you know. Now, the tree that came down there, I got it all yanked out of there. Let me take a walk here and show you what's going on. I gotta go the whole way to the other end of the property. All right, we're out here at the other end of the property. So you kind of see here, made myself a little path. I haven't mowed it in a few weeks, you can tell, can't you? But I've been working on this area. And as you see, we got some logs. This is kind of what I'm turning into my sawmill area. The reason is because this is shaded almost all day. So if you look out here, that little hole in the sky is all the sunshine we get. It ain't much. Most of the day, it is shaded. I mean, right now the sun's, it's over there behind the trees. And that's why I wanted to turn this into a sawmill area. Well, those logs there, that's sassafras. And we're basically gonna chainsaw mill them, turn them into lumber. And that was that tree that was hanging at like a 45-degree angle. I originally thought it was poplar, but once we got to cutting on it and stuff, I kind of figured out that's sassafras. It's got a very distinct smell, you know what I mean? Now, I plan on putting a real simple building over here somewhere, real small. I don't want it to be any more than 6 or 8 feet for tax purposes. Around here, as soon as you get bigger than 10 feet, you have to pay an extra $150 a year in your taxes. So I want to keep her under that, you know, 6 or 8 foot, and it's probably just going to be an A, like a straight up and down triangle shaped building, kind of sitting here somewhere. And I'm going to try to clean this up a bit, kind of turn it into a little camping area as well, maybe even further back. But yeah, this is kind of what we got going on out here. There's the lovely field, and I got some things to tell you about that too. All right, so a little bit of news on the field. I told you last year that we're eventually going to be mowing that, and that starts this fall. We start turning it into our, you know, more yard space. The farmer's been farming it just to keep us from having to mow it, and this year that's going to change because I have plans. So this fall, once he gets it all harvested, we're gonna disc it, get her all planted in grass. We're gonna go for a type of grass that's good for like meadow or something like that, preferably something with a bit of clover in it. Kind of like a food plot, you know what I mean? Something like that. And you can see here, this is me plucking out tree stumps. There's about a dozen, I'd say, a dozen more tree stumps to pluck out. And I think I popped 6 or 8 already, just in this little area. So eventually this is where all my firewood work's gonna happen. The logs will be spread out here, and this is where the firewood work is gonna happen. I wanna get it away from, you know, the entrance to the house. I wanna get it all brought back here, kind of out of sight, you know what I mean? Now this here, what you're seeing here, this is logs that I plucked up and saving for the event in July. And I told you about racing, and we're just gonna race on what I got laying here. See that guy right there? The whole length of that is good for racing. We could cut it in half. Set up 2 like little racing stands, good for like 40, 50 cc saws. Right there's another prime one. Even the big one, that could be, you know, bigger saws, 70, 80 cc saws. Yeah, anything with a 24-inch bar. This one right here is definitely a good racing log. She's almost perfectly the same size, the whole length of it. And, you know, that's kind of what my plan is here for the racing. We're just gonna pick some of these good logs out and set up for racing at the event in July. And that's what we'll cut on. I'm not gonna go through and start cutting up cants and stuff. I'm just gonna race on what I got here. So in case you guys are wondering what kind of wood we're cutting, it is a mix. Most of it is oak. Some of it's maple, so forth. But yeah, it is gonna be a mix of whatever. And so far, this is the pile of logs. I do have 2 or 3 more to add, and they're big. They're bigger than that guy there. I tried to pick one of them up today, and the tractor, it would lift it, but it pulled the wheels off the ground. So I'll have to cut it in half just to shave some weight off of it, you know what I mean? But it's bigger than that one. But yeah, we're working on getting logs gathered up for the event, and I think we already got enough, but I am gonna have it for 2 days, so it doesn't hurt to have some extra, you know? Now these guys here, I'm turning these into stands for, you know, to set the logs on. I'm either gonna leave them as they are and just cut a notch down the length of it, and, you know, like a V. That way you have a nice big wide stand. But if I would cut each of those in half this way, and then cut them in half this way, that would give me 4 blocks. So basically I would take, you know, it'd be 1 big piece of wood for 1, you know, cutting station, or I could take that 1 block and turn it into 2 cutting stations. And that one there, same thing. That would give me 4 cutting stations on top of what I already got. And I could pick one of these big logs, you know, cut a chunk off, and make another one. I'm planning on having at least 6 or 8 stands, if not 10. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get as much set up ahead of time. That way we don't have to play with it so much during the day. You know what I mean? I can just play with it ahead of time. And for those of you who are doing cutting like I do, testing and so forth, this right here I have found is the easiest setup. See how I got my test log here? As I drop my cookies, I toss them right on the pile. And then whenever I'm mowing the grass, I just blow all the sawdust into the pile. And anytime I burn it, it cleans it up. And it's real fast, easy cleanup. When you're doing saw testing like this, the cleanup is the worst part. And this is what I found to be the fastest, easiest way. I test a saw or 2, take 5 minutes to toss the cookies over there, and then every time I mow, I just blow the sawdust into the pile. She all burns up, you know? I gotta burn that pile maybe 2 times a year, 3 times a year. So this is actually what I would consider junk wood. It is poplar. You can burn it, but, you know, it's nothing like oak. Now, after July, I might start saving some of my oak cookies for burning here at the shop. you know. It makes good firewood. And since they're in cookie form, they'll dry really fast and all that stuff. So, yeah. It's just the junk wood and stuff that I'm more focused on just keeping it burned up. The oak, though, I think I'm going to start saving those cookies for, you know, burning in the shop. This window right here, you know, I just tossed the wood right inside that window. So you can see it's pretty easy access. Now, little more projects here. All right, so this is, if you remember, used to be a bunch of brush here and trees and so forth. Many years ago, this was the area where the gray water for the house went. And it's been closed down for 20 or 30 years. And it's just had brush growing there, you know? So I wiped it all out, smoothed her out, and now we're gonna get some grass growing in there. But this is where I plan on putting in the outside wood boiler whenever I get to it. I ain't that far along yet, but that is where I want to put it in. And it's somewhere in here. And I wanted to get that stuff knocked out because I want to get the outside wood boiler and have some sort of a structure here for putting the firewood, because I want to stop having to stack it. And I need some sort of structure to kind of keep it somewhat organized. And I don't even care if it has a roof. I just need, you know, a couple of posts and probably some simple planking just to keep it kind of in place. You know what I mean? And then what I'll do is I'll cut the wood out behind and I'll just bring it out and put it in, you know, put it in the structure. That's the plan. This is where the outside border is going to be, and we used the tractor and cleaned that up and knocked that all out. So that is one step closer. You know what I mean? Now this is the current project I'm working on with the tractor. Grandma bought the kids a little swimming pool, one of those cheap Intex or Coleman swimming pools or whatever they're called. So I've been using the tractor to kind of grade out a spot for the pole. And you can see I just started doing sand work on it. I'm hoping to have this done by the end of next weekend. Have the pole, you know, ready for water. But if you're noticing how I piled dirt up here, and you really shouldn't do that, there's a reason. You see, I drove over it a bazillion times, really got it packed in there, but you really shouldn't do it like this, to put a pole in. But the pole isn't that big. It's like 16 foot around. It only holds like 3 feet of water. And whenever the kids are done with the pole and we're done using it, I wanted to keep my dirt. That way, when it's all done and out of here, I can just push the dirt back up in there, smooth everything out, and make it look like it was never there. Might be 10 years or so, but that's why I wanted to do it that way. You know what I mean? And if you see that spot up there used to be a big dip in the ground right there. It was a pain in the butt with the mower. So I took some of this dirt and threw it up there and kind of smoothed her out. Knocked out that little bush, you know. But this is the current project I'm working on with the tractor. Getting this all graded out and ready for a little, you know, swimming pool, you know. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Now this is the firewood area we've been currently working on, and if you've been looking at it for a while, you can see there's a lot out of here now. I've been plucking those logs out of here, you know, but I still got a chunk of wood here that we're going to turn into firewood yet. I'm going to say there's probably, I don't know if there's 2 cord there, but it's probably getting close. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another cord or so here, plus what's on that stack. So I think I got enough wood here to make it through next season, that all I got to do is get this stuff, you know, cut and split up, and I think I'll be good for the next winter. Now some of these logs I will cut up into firewood, but that big one right there, that's the one I tried picking up. I couldn't pick it up. She just pulled the rear wheels of the tractor off the ground. So I'll probably cut it in half or something. And there's another big one there. I'm probably gonna pluck it. This big one here, pluck it, you know. We'll save them for the event. But a lot of these little guys here, I'll probably just cut them up for firewood. and get it all split up. And then once I'm done doing all this stuff, that firewood stack is going to continue up and over here. So that's why this pile is looking like that, because I'm going to extend off of this up right through the path here, and I need to get this cleaned up first, you know. But there we go. You can see the tractor's been in here. I've been moving this stuff around to get them logs out, and I've been getting a lot of splitting done. Not recently, you know. I haven't been doing any work on it recently though, because well, my back's been bugging me. If you're familiar with that sciatic nerve crap, that stuff sucks. But that's why I haven't really been doing anything. So I'm just going to take a little break here, probably get started on it again here soon, and we'll be good to go, you know. Then I'll be able to order in the triaxle load and get started on the following season's firewood supply, you know. It'll be a never-ending process. One of the reasons I want the outside boiler though is because I hate all the extra work involved to get it split and stacked and all this stuff. I want to get the outside boiler in so I can, you know, cut my rounds off, maybe cut them in half, and never have to worry about stacking another piece of whatever again. And it will save a tremendous number of hours of work. So hopefully we can get that done soon. Heck, even on top of that, the house will be heated better, you know. Instead of just one little wood stove in the living room, we'll have heating set up for the whole house, every room. So, you know, it'll be better in the end with the outside wood boiler. But that's where we're at. Now, if you've been wondering why I haven't posted video of any of this tractor work, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is that, I mean, I'd be posting a 20-minute video every day. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of work and time that I want to get these jobs done, you know what I mean? So I'm just more focused on getting the work done instead of making the videos. And another thing is, the tractor's kind of a pain in the butt to use. So I run a loader and backhoe and stuff at work. And I'll tell you, those things are a dream to run compared to that thing. The issue is the front bucket. It has, I wouldn't be surprised if there's 4 inches of play in it, slop. So when you're trying to grade and you got that much slop, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't want to stay straight on you. So you have to do your grading while applying down pressure on the bucket, and hopefully you don't get into a spot that will allow the bucket to tilt down on you, because then it just dives in, you know. It's kind of a pain in the butt, something I'll probably fix in the future. We'll see, you know. But yeah, it is a little pain in the butt to run, but it works. Gets the job done, as you've seen. It just takes a little extra time. It does look like I'm fumbling around a lot, and it's just because it's hard to work that bucket like that with that much play. It is really hard. It's a lot easier to back drag, because then it'll kind of float on you, you know what I mean? But when you're trying to push it and cut a nice graded cutoff, it is rough to do with that much play in the bucket. But anyway, a little update of things going on around here. It's actually just a few days after hopper stock. I took today off work, and you know, I just been kind of playing around here doing some work. I wanted to take a day off, you know. I got enough days available to do it, so I did. And you know, I've kind of been enjoying myself doing some chores. So hey, hope you enjoyed this little one. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.